Friends, it is hard to believe, but we are now in the home stretch of our study in the book of Acts. We began our study in the book of Acts all the way back in September of 2016, and now we are looking, Lord willing, to finish it up here in the next couple of months. And one of the things that we've come back to repeatedly as we've been studying this book is that thesis statement that Jesus gave us all the way back in the very first chapter, Acts chapter 1, verse 8, in which he said to his disciples that you will be my witnesses, beginning in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria and to the very end of the earth. And that's exactly how the book of Acts has unfolded. It's worked its way through these different regions, and it has now, as its trajectory, the very ends of the earth, which for Acts is Rome. And it's the Apostle Paul who is on his way under God to Rome. That's where we're headed. But before we get there, Paul has one more missionary journey that he's going to undertake. And that's what we're going to look at this upcoming Sunday and the following Sunday. You remember that Paul's already taken a couple of missionary journeys. His first missionary journey took him into regions like Cyprus and Lycia. His second missionary journey took him much further afield in places like Philippi and Thessalonica and Berea and Athens and Corinth. We looked at Corinth this past Sunday. And now as he gets ready to undertake this third missionary journey, the focus of this third missionary journey is going to be the city of Ephesus. Ephesus was a very important and strategic city in the ancient world, and it becomes a very vital city and church community in the New Testament. We, of course, have Paul's letter to the church in Ephesus, Ephesians. Timothy served as an elder in that church, and so we have 1st and 2nd Timothy, which are related to Ephesus. John ministered there, so we have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, which are also related to Ephesus. And then, of course, in Revelation, we have Jesus giving his letters to these 7 different churches, and one of those churches is the church in Ephesus. And so not only was Ephesus an important strategic city in the ancient world, but it became a very important city in the New Testament. And as a church here at Christ Church, our focus, of course, our intention, of course, is that we want to be a church that is on gospel mission. And so when we study Paul's work in Ephesus and the resulting church and the mission that grew out of it, it's very instructive for us. And so what we're going to do at Christ Church for the next 2 weeks is we're going to camp out in Ephesus. We're going to be looking at Acts chapter 19 this Sunday, and then Acts chapter 20 the following Sunday. And so as you seek to prepare yourself for church over these next couple of weeks, let me encourage you to really dig into these 2 chapters in the book of Acts, and to also, if you have time, to read through Ephesians and maybe go back and look at some of the pastoral epistles, 1st and 2nd Timothy, and especially get into Revelation and read that letter that Jesus sends to the church in Ephesus. There's lots of instruction for us as we study these things. So friends, I hope you'll be able to dig into God's Word this week, spend some time in prayer, and all for the sake of our continued mission in this city. May the Lord strengthen you this week. May He bless you, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday.